Hi friends, today we're going to do my less than 10-minute writing exercise that will improve your writing by expanding your vocabulary. I've selected 3 words for us to play around with our writing. We're going to use each one of these words in a sentence so we can better understand them by putting them into context. I will give you general definitions, but I've also included links below to Merriam-Webster's website where you can find the formal definitions and pronunciations along with my sample sentences. All right, today's 3 words are jeopardy, ne'er-do-well, and flummox. Jeopardy, ne'er-do-well, and flummox. Let's use each one of these words in a sentence and have a little fun with our writing. You can use this little quick exercise to kind of start your writing day and get you going. Hopefully, it'll be fun and entertaining for you. Anyway, let's get started with jeopardy. And jeopardy is a noun, a word that represents a person, place, or a thing, and it means imminent danger or immediate danger. All right, let's see what we can come up with for jeopardy. Let's see. He ran into the burning building to search for survivors and putting himself in jeopardy. All right, he ran into the burning building to search for survivors, putting himself into jeopardy, or putting himself in jeopardy. Here's jeopardy. And again, jeopardy means imminent danger. So you can imagine this fellow running into a burning building. Anyone running into a burning building is putting themselves in danger. He's going in because he wants to search for survivors. He thinks someone might be still in this house or building. This building, I said. But that is jeopardy, imminent danger. All right, let's move on to ne'er-do-well. Okay, ne'er-do-well is a noun, a word that represents a person, place, or a thing. And it's kind of a harsh word to use to describe someone because it means an idle, worthless person. Ne'er-do-well, idle, worthless person. So it's a kind of a harsh word to call somebody. Anyway, let's see what we can come up with for a sentence for ne'er-do-well. All right. And now, a prominent doctor living in the city. She was reluctant to visit the small town she grew up in with all of its ne'er-do-well porch-dwelling inhabitants. All right. Now a prominent doctor living in the city, she was reluctant to visit the small town she grew up in with all of its ne'er-do-well porch-dwelling inhabitants. Wow. Okay, that's her thinking of the people in the town she grew up, small-minded, these idle, worthless people she's thinking about. And I added to ne'er-do-well by saying porch-dwelling, meaning these people that sit out on the porch and basically do nothing all day long. But she's now a prominent doctor, and she is living in the city, so she's doing quite well for herself. She doesn't really want to return to the small town. Maybe she has to for some reason, but her impression or her memory or her thoughts on the people that live there, she's referring to them as ne'er-do-wells. These people as kind of idle or worthless people. So she's kind of harsh in her thinking about the people in the small town that she grew up in. Anyway, let's move on to flummox. And flummox is a verb, an action word, and it means confused. All right, what can we come up with for flummox? The students were flummoxed. The students were flummoxed by the math equation. Their professor wrote on the board. There's flummoxed. So you can imagine this math professor writes this complex equation on the board, confusing the students that are flummoxed by this equation. They probably are thinking to themselves, how the heck do we figure out that equation? Anyway, that's flummox, confused. All right. Anyway, 3 wonderful, interesting words: jeopardy, ne'er-do-well, and flummox. Use them in a sentence. If you're unfamiliar with these words, make them part of you so they're accessible to you when you write. If you enjoyed this writing exercise, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and happy writing.